Hello and welcome everyone, I am EdwardStarcraft and here we are in the finals of the GameClucks Seattle StarCraft 2 LAN tournament. We are on the map MLG Shakuras Plateau, and spawning at the top left hand side we have the Terran player who is Sterling. And he's going up against the Zerg player spawning at the bottom right hand side. He's random, but he spawned as Zerg, and his name is PicNic. And PicNic going to go against Sterling today. Sterling, he's a Grandmasters player. He's high in Grandmasters, not on a team though, but a pretty solid player from what I've seen. I know he's been looking for a team. Not sure if he's found a team just yet, but definitely one of the top players in the North American region in the Grandmasters division. And spawning at the bottom left-hand side, bottom right-hand side, we have PicNic, and he is, he's also been ranked a lot in Blizzard's top 200 list. He's not in the Grandmasters list. When I talked to him, he said that he does go on tilt quite a bit, and then he just basically messes around and drops down and then goes back up in the top 200. So anyways, this is PicNic, and he's random, and he's spawning as this Zerg player. And usually we see Zerg players macro up, and PicNic looks like he's going to be playing a macro game today. I mean, before we've seen PicNic going for 7-pill builds or really weird builds, but here PicNic going for mostly a normal build, and I think that's because he knows he's going up against a Terran player, and Terran players don't really have that huge opportunity to overreact to a 7-pull. If you're Protoss, you have to build a forge wall in your base. But if you're Terran, all you have to do is complete the wall in and then build Marines. It's kind of funny how that works. But anyways, PicNic asking Sterling, how was MLG? And he's talking about how Sterling, he lost to Energy Vibe. And Zaya lost, made it to round 6. It was very fun, and now Sterling scouting rather late for a Terran player. Usually Terran players will scout earlier, and against a player like PicNic, usually you would want to scout even earlier, but now Sterling seeing this expansion go up for PicNic, seeing nothing too out of the ordinary. Going to find this one extractor and assume, I'm pretty sure he assumes that there's a spawning pool going up for PicNic, seeing that everything is normal for PicNic. Okay, over here, Sterling continuing to build up. He has one refinery, got a tech lab on his barracks, so he should be able to get Sim very soon. I'm curious to see. It looks like he's going to be going for a fast expansion of his own as well, and at the same time building a Reaper to go over to his opponent's base, which is quite an interesting choice. Now Sterling, his Reaper will meet PicNic's drone over here in the middle of the map, take its kill, and start moving in towards PicNic's base. Now PicNic only has a few Zerglings, and if Sterling micros this properly, he can do a lot of damage to PicNic. So here comes the Reaper. Same time, expansion going up for Sterling. Sterling just building his expansion straight out here because he knows that Sterling will keep his opponent busy. Now Reaper trying to micro away from these units, jumping up and down cliffs, and getting 3 kills so far. Sterling doing a very nice job at keeping his opponent really unexpected, really surprised at whatever he's doing. And here now PicNic, can he defend against Reapers? Well, I think he's probably used Reapers a lot in his own build, so I think PicNic should be able to figure things out. And here it looks like Sterling actually just going to retreat with his Reaper. No, actually his Reaper just retreating. You can also jump up this cliff and go through the back rocks, but PicNic actually has his Zerglings over here waiting for any sort of Reaper attack like this. So very, very smart of PicNic. And here we see Sterling doing exactly as I said he would, as I predicted, going through the back rocks. And here PicNic already has his Zerglings up here, and this Reaper gets killed really quickly. But the next transition for Sterling is actually getting siege tech, and there, see ya, says PicNic. One step ahead here, and now a Hellion coming in from Sterling. You say manner than this? Lol. JK. So, wow, this Hellion coming in just right as 2 spine crawlers finish for PicNic. Very nice timing on PicNic's part. 4 speedlings coming in, and Sterling may lose this Hellion, and there he goes. Down the wheel, rolling around on the floor, and double kill, says PicNic. Yeah. So here, siege tanks coming up. So now PicNic going for a relatively early lair for him, you know. And he's really just playing a macro game today, continuing to drone up as much as he can, get some more tech, get some more upgrades. And, you know, he hasn't really been aggressive so far, and I'm pretty sure Sterling's like, oh, what the heck is going on? You know, I just talked to Sterling before this match, and he was like, you know, PicNic, as long as you scout, as long as you figure out what he's doing, then you can beat him. But here, with this macro game from PicNic, he must be scratching his head and wondering, what the heck is going on? I better wall off. I better put some more siege tanks in the defensive formation, just in case something's coming. But, you know, the funny thing, nothing's coming from PicNic. And here, PicNic already in a harvester lead, 41 to 35 harvesters. Another 8 harvesters coming out for PicNic, and he is really going to be in the lead. And here, Sterling saying, wow, 3-kill tank. Yeah, good job, tank. Triple kill. Now once I see. Now PicNic going for an early third base, 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Holy moly, PicNic going for a weird, completely weird build today. Just macroing it up. Have you ever seen this? Did you ever expect this? He's just pulling this out of his pants. You know, trick up his sleeve. And now PicNic getting a Baneling Nest, getting a Spire as well, and going for that Zergling Baneling Muta from PicNic. And you know, that's a really standard build from Zerg players. You see it a lot, and you know, Sterling going for tank, marine. Actually, not many marines, so tank, Thor, and yeah, tanks and Thors. Yeah, not. It's kind of weird. Usually, you see a lot more marines, but here now, PicNic getting 8 Mulisks, 14 Zerglings, a Baneling Nest, air weapons +1. And there we go. PicNic preparing for an attack as soon as he gets his third base up. Yeah. He's going to macro this game. 2 Thors up for Sterling, so he's going to be able to defend from any, you know, so few amounts of needless over here from PicNic, and now even more Overlords coming in for PicNic. And, you know, take a look at the Harvester count. Yet again, Harvester count for PicNic, not too ahead of Sterling because really, he stopped droning up. 6 more drones in production though, so he's going to stay about even on drone harvesters. But now here come the Mulisks, and there is one missile turret over here. And wow, MRZ would be proud because this missile turret placement is just genius, especially with this Thor. And now here come the Mulisks, but PicNic will not be able to do too much damage. Thor running in, and Mulisk getting a few harvester kills. So far, 3 harvesters killed by PicNic. Mulisk going over here to the natural expansion, but now Sterling moving around his units a bit. Here come the Mulisks. Can they get a few more harvester kills? And it looks like they're just going to run away. So 3 harvester kills here for PicNic, and a 4th harvester. PicNic keeps on trying to take out a few SCVs at a time. It's working out pretty well for him. He's not losing any of these Mulisks whatsoever. You can see 8 units lost, 225 units of resources lost, and still building up a decent Muta ball while continuing to macro up 56 harvesters now to 53. PicNic with his third base starting to saturate. Now, at the same time, we see that that Sterling's trying to get a third base as well, and I'm curious to see where he's going to lift this. If he's going to, he has really 3 options. He could lift this and build it over here near the watchtower, which is going to be an interesting position. Over here at the top position, or over here at the you know, at the bottom natural expansion. All 3 are going to be really interesting targets, and ooh, Sterling even double expanding at the same time. So this is weird from Sterling, and you know, I think he's going to try to really get into the late mid game or in the late game and just pump out a lot of units and try to overwhelm. He's going to try to play the eco game, and I think Sterling here thinking, well, you know what, I can macro better than PicNic on his Zerg, you know, because usually Zerg has the best macro, and Terran, you can't build harvesters that quickly, but Sterling, I think he's accepting this challenge, this macro challenge here from PicNic. More Mulisks on their way, but PicNic are ready with a 30 supply lead ahead of Sterling. Remember, in the first set of 3, in the winner bracket between Sterling and PicNic, PicNic lost 0-2, and this time PicNic, if he takes this game, that's going to be a real big change because, you know, the other games he just cheese again and again, and this game he's actually playing very seriously. So now PicNic again getting a few more worker kills, but not doing too much damage, and Sterling just turtling up. He has not pushed out just even once in this game, which is just weirdest thing ever. Usually as a Terran player you want to pressure a Zerg player, especially a macro Zerg player, and you know, I know PicNic's not the best macro Zerg player, but he's doing a pretty decent job. 165 supply to 130. You know, a lot of you know, really good Zerg players will actually max out at about the 14-15 minute mark. So you can see PicNic, his Zerg macro, he hasn't been droning up very aggressively, and already he's getting behind in his harvester count compared to his opponent Sterling. But now Sterling moving through the top, going to be pushing into PicNic's top right hand side base, and PicNic, I don't think he has too much scouting information. Now he sees this coming in, and with patrolling a Zergling, it's gonna be, ooh, that's very smart, catching any sort of drops. And here we go, Sterling moving in through the top position, and this is very difficult for a Zerg player to stop because, you know, if you get tanks sieged up over here, then, you know, it's very hard to push from the bottom side to this top base. But now Sterling pulling back, and now PicNic coming into this top base, and oh, now Sterling, these Zerglings and Roaches coming in over here, and this is not looking good for Sterling's units. So many Roaches, and wow, a lot of infested Terrans. I think PicNic should be able to clean up this, but at what cost? Look at PicNic's supply count compared to Sterling. He just lost a lot of his Zerglings and all of his Mutalisks, if I read that correctly. Let's see, yeah, he lost every single one of his Mutalisks, and you don't want to lose your Mutalisks. And that army control for PicNic did not do well, and look, quadruple kill, or I don't think that's a right, but kill-tacular for that 11 kill siege tank. Fourth base coming up for Sterling. He's expanding to the top, and he's really just taking control of the top half of the map. And you know, with only 2 narrow ramp openings for Sterling's base area, I mean, this is just the best set of expansions that I think Sterling can go for, because you don't really want to have, you know, open areas that you can engage Zerg in as a Terran player. You want to be engaging Zerg in narrow areas. So here comes Sterling's expansion. He's starting to bunker up, and I'm curious why he's not moving his siege tanks forwards. It's a curious thought, but yeah. Now it looks like PicNic going to move through the front side of Sterling's base. Sterling has 2 siege tank, a bunker, 2 missile turrets over here, so quite a few resources. But you know, then again, if you have an army that's big enough, you can always overwhelm any sort of defense. So now here, Sterling continuing to push forward. He has his planetary fortress coming up. This one, ooh, these mulas take out one of the siege tanks, but that he did have to sacrifice a few of his mulas to do that. But now Sterling moving in for a push at PicNic's top hand base, and this is the push I was talking about. Very devastating to the Zerg player. It's very difficult to push into these siege tanks, but given good military control from PicNic, that would be good. But look at all those flaming Zerglings, those siege tanks taking out all of those Zerglings so quickly. All the Roaches going down as well. Infestors coming in, infested Terrans spawning everywhere, but every single infestor dies. And wow, now Sterling cleans up the rest of PicNic's army, and there is the GG, out macroed by Sterling. And there we go. Congratulations to Sterling for taking round 1 of this best out of 3. Give him a round of applause.